Welcome back to the Canada Specialist Program series. Like I said, it's lovely to have Lyn back with us today to do. She's got an update. She's got to cover a lot in 12 minutes. So Canadian Rockies and Calgary, just a lovely teaser session. Maybe go over some basics, but please do keep in touch with Lyn for more. But Lyn, I'm going to hand over for now. Let you take it away.
Thank you, Charlie. So as Charlie said, there is so much to cover and we really don't get enough time to do it all. So I will follow up with lots of email links with you for anyone who's on the session today. And if you have any questions, please pop them in the chat and I'm happy to answer them after I've finished speaking. But welcome to the Rockies. Welcome to the city of Calgary, the town of Banff and Lake Louise. My name's Lyn. I'm lucky enough to come and talk to you about these places that I have fallen in love with. So we'll start. Oh, hang on, sorry, my system hasn't started. There we go. We'll welcome you to the city of Calgary that you fly directly into from the UK with either Air Canada or WestJet. And you land in this city, which has got 1.1 million people. It's based on a river valley, so there are lots of trails and paths that you can walk along, jog, cycle. You'll see lots of people being very, very active. It's also one of the sunniest places in Canada, so it's great for being outside. When you land into Calgary Airport, it's a really quick 20-minute transfer into downtown Calgary. So you can do that either by booking a bus transfer or taking a taxi or even Uber. They're all based at the airport and it's very, very easy. So then when you get to the city, a city I always feel like you wander around, but you can amble past not knowing where to go. And that's where I think a tour comes in. And whilst Adam's talked about quite a few things I'm going to go over, I think whether you do a bus tour, you can see the sights from your coach, or why not do a walking tour where you've got a local person showing you around, showing you some hidden gems. And then the absolute best, I think, is a food tour, because I love food and drink, and basically the food scene is so fresh and international. They are using local product. Why not take a food tour where you stop at 5 or 6 different places? It could be a restaurant, it could be a deli, it could be a wine bar, it could be just a shop. But you will get to listen to the local people, how they've set up their businesses, sample some of their wares, and actually find out a little bit about that neighbourhood's history as well as the lay of the land. So I always think that's a great way of getting your bearings in a city. As Adam mentioned, there is the Wilder Institute Calgary Zoo. Now it's very, very easy to get to on the C train. The C train goes right through the centre of Calgary and the downtown blocks are actually free for you to jump off and jump on. But if you take it out, you can go further, you can explore further around the city. The Wilder Institute is a conservation centre for endangered species, and its work centres completely around how to understand wildlife and how they can help them from going extinct. The new enclosure is this polar bear enclosure, which is land and water, and the bears are interacting so much with visitors, but it's a chance really for us to help them and understand what they need so that we are not ruining their habitat. And then another great day out in Calgary is Heritage Park, which is celebrating its 60th anniversary this year. Whether you want to ride a steam train, take a paddle steamer across the reservoir, or actually just go and see the old cars and petrol pumps, or have the bread and sweets from the olden days, a great day out for the whole family. And of course, who doesn't love the thrill of the races? We cannot talk about Calgary without mentioning the Stampede. 10 days of racing, music, fun fair. It's really hard to put it all in a package unless you've actually experienced it. And boy, you need a sleep after you've spent a few days at Stampede. Pancake breakfasts, bands playing on the street, you have food trucks, evening extravaganza, and the whole city dresses in Western wear. The dates are on the screen, but if you can't make those 10 days, the SAM Centre, which opened literally a few days ago, is an immersive centre which is going to allow you to discover the history of the festival, see the exhibits, human storytelling, and we'll give you the story behind actually how much Stampede is involved. It's not just the 10 days of the festival, but it does a lot in the community and with the youth of Calgary and bringing it on so that the grand extravaganza is the Stampede itself. So then I'm going to take you on a journey for about an hour along Highway 1, and we're going to head towards the Canadian Rockies and Banff National Park. Banff National Park is the oldest national park in Canada and was discovered when they built the railway across Canada. It links through into Jasper National Park and is the beautiful Canadian Rockies. We are committed to working with the Indigenous people and learning from their knowledge and moving forward in partnership with them to find new and meaningful ways to enjoy the park, but also to leave it better than we found it. So you come to Banff, and Banff Avenue is this beautiful high street with mountains surrounding every side. So in summer, they shut the main Banff Avenue so that people can really enjoy being outside, sitting outside. We're talking about the sunniest province in Canada, and it gets warm in summer. So the idea of sitting out on patios is what Canadians love. Who doesn't love a beer sitting in the sunshine with a band playing or a busker? It's just everyone's ideal. But it's also your chance to connect with nature. You know, you've got that connection of clean air, space, and exploration. So it's just the perfect way. There's year-round products, but sightseeing gondolas and skywalks are popular. And one of my top tips, train adventures, Indigenous experiences, there is so much to see and do. And I can't go into all of them here, as I've explained, but I will send you a follow-up email with some more links for things so you can see what's going on in Banff, Lake Louise and Jasper. But I think it's the opportunity to get up high that is one of my favourites, because then you actually see the whole range of mountains, you see the height of them, you see how many there are, and it really puts the Canadian Rockies and into all their glory and splendour. As I said, it's a four-season destination, so whether you like skiing or you prefer snowboarding, snowshoeing, dog sledding, ice skating, there is so much to do. And getting out there with that bright blue sky, less visitors, and the snow twinkling, I think is one of my favourite times of year. It's that fresh, clean air, but you can still just read a book, cozied in front of a fire, go on the hot chocolate trails. There's plenty to do for everybody. And I think the beauty of it is we're getting outside in winter. You know, I don't know about you, but I am sick of the rain we've had here this winter. Whereas out there, yes, it's cool, but you dress up and you're outside and you can really enjoy it. The views wherever you go are to die for. We've all seen the pictures of the Canadian Rockies, but I just think build in some time for your clients. They often think, what are we going to do in Banff for 3 days or Jasper for 3 days? The comment on all of our customer surveys when they get back is they wish they had longer, because it's about taking that moment, experiencing that stillness, walk around a lake and actually just soaking up nature. I think there's something quite grounding, and no matter how busy and frenetic a fam trip can be, I always try and build a little bit of time where we can just appreciate the moment, whether that's taking a cup of coffee on your balcony or whether it's sitting by the side of the lake. Is something quite beautiful. And the Icefields Parkway is the main road that leads from Lake Louise up to Jasper. It's 232 kilometres. It's voted by Condé Nast Traveller as one of the top drives in the world. As you can see here, really easy driving, but you're driving through a valley where you're surrounded by mountain peaks, you're surrounded by glaciers, waterfalls, emerald lakes. There is so much to see and do, but it's also about stopping and just taking in that moment. One thing I would say for winter customers is book a transfer. They can drive it, but if a snowstorm comes in or the road is a bit treacherous, we in the UK aren't used to driving on those roads. Whereas if you book a transfer, they can sit back and just enjoy the view and snap away. And on the transfer, the drivers will stop at various viewpoints, let everyone get out, whether it's for a toilet stop or whether it's for a photo opportunity, and also give a bit of history and share with them some tourist information. So why not sit back and let someone else do the work? There are lots of things to do on the Icefields Parkway. Here's just a few, whether it's the ice caves, going on the skywalk, not for the faint-hearted, I say, and going on the Ice Explorer. But one of my favourites is actually just stopping at a sort of roadside pullover and just walking, and you might come across an amazing waterfall, or you might see a sight or a viewpoint that you wouldn't have seen, and it's just about stopping that car, or you meet a traveller from somewhere else, it's just take your time on that road and spend all day. Obviously, train travel is huge. We have Rocky Mountaineer and Via. I'm not going to talk about Rocky because the lovely Hazel is following me. I'm sure she's going to give you lots of information. But the Via train also goes through Jasper as the Cross Canadian. So whether you're travelling from Vancouver to Toronto or reverse, you can stop and get out at Jasper and take a wander. And it's a lovely train to do in winter if you fly into Vancouver up to Jasper and then come down the Rockies by transfer. It's a really nice option for something a bit different. As I said, the views round every corner to die for, and there is something for everybody. So just make sure you stop and take time and breathe it all in. And also we've got many Canada's signature, oh, sorry, I've got ahead of myself there on my screen. Wildlife adorable, but wild. So please stay in your cars. I have had a tour operator who went behind a bush and a wild bear came out, much to the enjoyment of everyone else on that group. But it's not what you want, but you are bound to see them. If you don't feel confident driving yourself, there are lots of operators who will take you on wildlife tours. They tend to know the places they hang out. They know where they've got a good chance of seeing them. And if you see a moose, you get a gold star, because although we have more moose than anything else, they seem to evade me at every opportunity. I've only seen one in 20 odd years. So send me your picture if you get to see a moose. We have lots of Canada's signature experiences, whether that's Eat the Castle, which is a food tour based in the Banff Springs Hotel, or this Jasper motorcycle tour. They're great experiences that your clients are definitely going to love and give them a real highlight of their trip to Canada, and especially to the Canadian Rockies. One of my favourites is the Ice Bubble Tour in winter. You can take a helicopter trip up the Rockies, do some snowshoeing and have a hot chocolate, and then come down and go to Abraham Lake and see the ice bubbles that form in the lake naturally. It really is an iconic trip. So please look at those as well. We do have some new products that I just want to quickly run over. Many of you may have heard that Marriott has opened a Moxie Hotel in Banff. Really lovely downtown space that's open with patios, etc. It's going to be a great addition to Banff. The Chateau Lake Louise has been redoing a lot of their rooms this winter. They've all been refurbished and is a beautiful spot, and has upgraded them in quite a good way, in modern way. They're also still building their spa. That's due to open in May 25. So that will be fantastic as well. The Forest Park Lodge has opened their newly renovated wing with great views over Jasper. And then also the Canoe Hotel has opened at the end of Banff Avenue, and it's next to the Otter, which hasn't quite opened yet, but is opening this summer. I'll tell you that the Canoe is such a gorgeous hotel. Every single room has a balcony with mountain views. They give you fresh coffee to your room that you can make in your room and then go and sit on this gorgeous balcony and just soak in the views. And the one thing that will really make a difference, I think, is you've got the Moxie, the Canoe and the Otter that are all at the lower end of Banff Avenue. So if you've got clients that have been out all day or travelling, don't really want to walk into Banff, then that end of town is really changed. Nice restaurants, nice coffee shops. So that will be very, very different with the addition of those hotels. The other thing is transportation. The Banff Rome bus and the Jasper transportation is a great way to leave your car at the hotel and get about town. Many of the hotels in Banff will give you a free pass, but the Rome bus is a great way to take the bus up to the gondola. It works like Uber. You have an app that shows you exactly where the bus is, so really, really easy to get about. And the Jasper transportation is going to transform Jasper, because whereas before you really did need either a bus or taxis, it's a great way of getting out to Jasper Park Lodge, getting around to Pyramid Lake and doing some hikes without a car. So great addition. And then I'd just like to say thank you so much for listening to me. I am so lucky to talk about this area that I love so much. But if any of you have any questions, I will answer them. And I will follow up with an email with plenty of information. So please let me know if there's anything in particular you're looking for.
Thanks,
Charlie.
Lyn. Thank you. I know. We always say it's short and sweet today, really just touching on some of those key things, some of the new things. Thank you, Lynn. And I think one of the frequently asked questions is especially for the Rockies, is which to stay in, Jasper, Lake Louise, or Banff. And for me, it's like if you have time, you do all three, right? They're all different. They've all got something different to offer. So try and build in that time. And there's so much to do in the Rockies that you really do need to spend a good amount of time there. Thank